I don't know if anybody's ever been really eaten well, taken in, where every single flavor of you is noticed and appreciated. Your scent is appreciated. The texture of you is appreciated. It changes you. See, I think I'm a woman, I don't know, but I think that changes people more than what they do. I would talk to my editor. I was really trying to describe much of what I had learned with Ray. And I said there was this way that his appreciation of me would draw like the most beautiful aspects of me out. He consumed me, he ate me. But see, I think what happens for so many of us is that we eat to kill hunger. We don't eat as art, we don't eat as appreciation, and we don't learn to feed well. And so, we have this idea that often, this isn't, that men feed or feast on women. I think it's almost the opposite. They don't actually have the time or space to taste a woman. I think that actually tasting the various flavors would be what slowed him down. And I think, it's another one of the horns in his head fit perfectly into the hole in her head, because I remember when I first started and I remember that profound discomfort just of someone feasting their eyes on me and lying there, and the way that my body would clench, trying to make the space smaller that he could possibly judge. And the way that he wouldn't look away. He wouldn't look away. I had to just continue to lie there. And then he even shone a light so that he could see more clearly. And I had to just lie there and watch him ingest me. And I remember even hearing, this was so uncomfortable, because I remember like I was wine or something, like he just took me in. It was so uncomfortable. And then he put his hands on me, and he put his hands on me not to have an impact or an affect, but in order to draw in, to take pleasure. He took pleasure from my body. That was really uncomfortable. And the whole experience of feeling like he could even hear my heartbeat. Everything was so exposed and so open. And the more he drew me in, the more it made me rise to the surface. Because I had an option, right? The option was either I was there. So I was either going to be there in my nakedness, contracted and tight, or I was just going to let the surface space of my body begin to open so that it could be properly consumed. And when that happened, there was an intimacy, that intimacy of when, because food is the most intimate experience, I think one of them that we can have. It's on your tongue. It affects all of your senses. It enters your body, and it determines your well-being on virtually every level. It determines if you have a sugar spike. It determines if you feel nourished. That feeling. I like, and I genuinely like, this is not a hippie LA girl thing. I genuinely like good green juice, but I like it for the zing of when it hits my cells, and suddenly it's like there's chlorophyll where there wasn't chlorophyll, and everything's breathing. It's a tough, and equally, I like wine, and each one of these things has a spirit within them, and then to begin to relate all the way back to the spirit of the food. So I would lie there for this Om, and I would be feasted upon. And then, the stroke and the way he took or drew something from my body. And that's what it's like. We have this, I just am going to keep saying, we have this idea that it's better to be the cook than it is to be the one who eats or consumes. But I genuinely believe that the power is in our capacity to consume and consume well. You know, power, true power, the power beyond power occurs in reception, in what you draw forth